You're kind of in a bit of a transition where you're now going to play in blocks and maybe spend more time at home. Is that true?
Yep, that is true. I've been thinking about it for a few years, and I think this will be my 23rd season, and golf's a 12-month commitment, and to do that for as long as I have, and even the years leading up to me turning professional. When I was 20 years old, and in my 20s, making decisions between a friend's wedding or a golf or some life event, it was very easy to choose golf in my career, and as the years have gone on, I've still put golf first, but in the last handful of years, I haven't felt good about always choosing golf, and so I'm trying out the part-time schedule this year, and hopefully, I've watched Steve Stricker do it for a couple of years, and he's done it pretty well. So hopefully, I can take part in some life events and still play some golf, because I still feel like there's a little bit left there, and I guess I'm not quite ready to put the clubs away. So I'll see if I can do both, and we'll just assess it as time goes on.
And not only your breaks are in the States, but you're planning to come back to Australia to take sort of a few weeks off now and again. That's an entirely different area for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually here now through the middle of April, and I've been overseas as long as the North Queensland Cowboys have been around, and I think in all of those years I've seen about 4 or 5 games. So I might see about that many again this year, just looking forward to stuff like that, stuff where instead of just watching it all online, I'm actually going to the game.
And what kind of shape is your golf in?
I don't know. I haven't put a pencil to a scorecard for a while, so it feels all right, actually. I feel quite fresh and ready to play this week. I've only played one event, which was a team event, since September last year. So you just never know once, there's that little added pressure of the gun going off and it actually counting for real. So, I feel pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the practice I've done, so we'll just see what happens.
We've had a few young players come in here and said what a great influence, as we discuss this all the time, and how generous you are with your time. And do you enjoy that kind of semi-mentoring? They said that they still enjoy speaking to you and getting your opinion on different things, and especially their travel, and if they make it to the States, or about the different tours. Will you continue to do that? Will you have the time to do that?
Yeah, well, I've really enjoyed being able to be involved over the last 10 or 11 years with the young Aussies coming up, and even younger players from all around the world, that I've become friends with, that, will often ask me my opinion on stuff. And until I started doing it, you never realise, that you actually do have stuff to share and stuff that could actually impact someone else's career. So I've really enjoyed that, and really enjoyed then, being the cheerleader for them and watching their careers take shape.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, some questions please from the floor. Martin.
Karrie, you maybe be inspired by Roger Federer. Did you notice last year that he had some time off, enforced time, and he played brilliantly, didn't he? So,
yeah.
So from other sports, you might get some inspiration there with that part-time scheduling.
Yeah, I hope so. And I was just telling my Pro-Am team at lunch that, how hectic a schedule the LPGA schedule is starting here this week. It's here, then Thailand, Singapore, we have a week off, and then 3 tournaments on the West Coast ending with a major. So you play six tournaments in 7 weeks in 4 different countries and God knows how many different time zones. And I've come here the last few years, and it's the start of that hard slog. And, I coming here this week just with a completely fresh mindset and actually really looking forward to playing. So that's what I hope, the part-time thing is that somehow in the blocks where I'm not playing, I can manage to not have to do the grind of all the practice. So that'll be the juggling act, because I've always been a grinder and a practicer. So I've got to work that out. But I think mentally I'm going to be so much more looking forward to actually playing when I do play. So hopefully that'll give me that more fresh approach to playing the tournaments I do.
And do you have a gut feel for number of tournaments that you might play?
Well, right now I'm just looking through to the end of July, beginning of August, through the British Open, just to see how I feel. So through then it'll be maybe 9 or 10 events, I guess, and then just see how I play. I'm on the outside looking in for international crown, so I'd like to play well enough to make that team. So that's like a mini goal, I guess. I'm making it hard for myself because obviously I'm not playing a lot, so I'd have to play well to jump up in the world rankings to do that. But if I do qualify for that, obviously I'll play a little bit more around, so it ended up being over 10 events, just because if I qualify for that, I will want to play an event or something right before it.
Karrie, you've achieved so much in your career. Is there anything specifically still on your bucket list that you'd like to achieve?
Nothing specific. I have been very fortunate and checked off a lot of career goals. For me, I think I don't even really feel like I have anything. For the last few years, I felt like I had something to prove to myself, and I don't even feel like that's where I am anymore either. But when I practice, I know that it's still pretty good. I wouldn't mind just seeing some really good golf, and if I can throw a win in there or something, that would be an extra bonus.
Next question, Steve.
Yesterday we had the Vision 2025 launch from Golf Australia. Some of the statistics about the record low female memberships and that sort of thing, does that alarm you, and I guess what can be done to redress that?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't alarm me because I think I've been aware of it for a while, but I think what's great about Vision 2025 is that time is of the essence. You've seen a lot of other different sports reinvent themselves in trying to encourage more female participation because they've realised, how important that is to the growth of their sport. And women and young girls is important to the growth of golf. And it's good that there's going to be a focus on that. I said to someone recently that when I was 11, I told my parents that I wanted to be a professional golfer, but that was followed up shortly later with, I'll either be a professional golfer or play cricket for Australia. But playing cricket for Australia when I was 11 there wasn't a visual, like that wasn't even a possibility. Like women's cricket wasn't even on the radar. If I was 11 years old now and said that, what direction would I have taken? Would I have played golf or would I have played cricket? So we want girls to choose golf. Right now, playing cricket for Australia is perhaps more visible. So we've got to make a push to get young girls into the game and get them to love golf. And then on the back end of it, we want even the women that decide to play AFL socially. They can't play that sport forever, and then get them into playing golf. And grow the numbers at clubs, and then the clubs are healthy, and and then it's just a snowball effect from there. Well, I just think the the culture in golf all around the world, it's not just in Australia. I think the culture needs to change. You know, you have to relax dress standards, and you know, if you wear a hat in the clubhouse, you don't have to take your hat off. You know, kids don't have to tuck their shirts in. You know, just, you know, and this goes for boys and girls. You know, it's a pretty, when you're a kid, I think it can be a pretty intimidating atmosphere to enter a clubhouse. And you know, and I don't even think, you know, when you said male-dominated, I think some of the worst members at clubs are women, you know, to other women. You know, they just set the standard so high for those women and are kind of unwelcoming. I think, you know, female attitudes need to change in clubs too, because, you know, it should be more of a welcoming atmosphere, so that, you know, even if the mum that's out with the kids on a junior Saturday, that mum, if you make it welcoming, she might want to play golf too.
Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any more? No more?
I'll just ask one more.
Certainly.
Just on my question earlier about what kind of is still on your bucket list, you touched on this a little bit, but how much do you think you've got left in the tank, and how much, I guess, how long do you want to keep playing for? Is there a kind of end in sight for you at all?
No, well, you know, some of my contemporaries have, you know, retired and they don't play anymore. I don't know if you'll ever hear me tell you that I'm retired. I can play golf till I'm 85, and you know, I might be invited to make an appearance at a golf tournament. You know, to me, I'm still a professional golfer when I'm going out and making that appearance. I might not be as good a golfer as I was, but you know, and you know, in the US, the Legends Tour is growing, and I'm only a couple of years away from that actually. So, you know, I feel like even if I play in those and it's not a, you know, I'm dead serious about, you know, I'm going out there to catch up with people I've spent my whole life with, you know, so I don't know, I don't have time limits. If this part-time thing works, I might do it for a few years, but I don't, it's sort of unknown. I might not be competitive enough. I'm not someone that's going to play LPGA events just so people can say it's great to see me. You know, I want to feel competitive, and you know, if I don't, I'll probably stop playing LPGA events. But like I said, I'm 2 years away from being old enough to play Legends, so you know, I'll probably play a few of those a year instead, if that's the case.
Mark?
Keen watcher of the young Aussies going through. How good was it for you to see Hannah, Mindy, and Karrie, all Karrie Webb scholarship holders at the Big Open a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, it was really cool in the last group. Well, just to see 3 Australian flags in the last group, you know, that's really great to see when it was such an international field. And then, you know, 3 of our brightest stars going head to head. I hope that's the start of many years of that to come.